Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, very good afternoon, very good morning to everyone. Uh, so, in the last class, we have already, as you all of you know, that we have already started a discussion of how we can handle files or how we can handle different kind of streaming files, input streaming files, and output streaming files in C++, or with the help of C++ programming that we have already started. And in the last class, uh, I have discussed about the basics of files, what are the applications of file handling in the real world. Okay, what are the operations that we actually performing in file handling. I also discussed the block diagram of how a console based program file interaction will occur. Okay, and then I discussed about the file input streams and output streams, which helps to do an efficient file handling operations in C++. Then I discussed about this hierarchy, uh, which is very much close to the hierarchy of a console input output streaming operations, but some hierarchy in some way it is different from different classes we are using for handling the file streaming operations. Okay, input file streaming and output file streaming operations, and all these file streaming operations or all these file streaming classes are the are coming from the Fstream base class, and all these Fstream base class are actually inherited from the grandparent iOS class. Okay, input output streaming. That's why these input outputs managing console input output streaming classes and the file handling streaming classes are siblings of each other. Okay, because their grandparent are similar. That is iOS class input output streaming. Now, in the previous class, I already showed you on code where I have shown you that how we open or close a file, a text file, or a general file by using a constructor method. Okay, how we can open a file by using a constructor method. So today I would like to show you how we can open a file using open method. Okay, and this open method is most widely used, or you can say more popular method compared to constructor method. You can use constructor method, it's your choice, but open method is more frequently used, it's more popular compared to constructor method. Now, this open method, as the name suggests, all of you understand, it is a built-in function or a system-defined function that can be used to open multiple files that use the same stream object. That is very important. This open method can be used to open multiple files that use the same stream object. So this is the advantage of using open method over the file constructor method that we have learned in the last class, right? What is the advantage? That if we are going to create a single stream object by the open method, by using the same single stream object, we can open multiple files sequentially. Okay, so we are going to see about the details of this conception. So file stream class, so let's check the syntax very carefully. That a file stream class we actually define, this is the general form of how we can use an open method on the same stream object to open multiple files. Okay, so suppose we have created a stream object of a file stream class. Okay, and we are using the same stream object dot open method, and then pass the file name that which we want to open, right? So in future we can use the same stream object to open another file. In future we can use the same stream object to open another file. So here file stream class means which one? That off stream. Okay, off stream we generally use for the file stream class, right? OF stream. Okay, for output file streaming. Okay, because we'll open a file, so that's why we have to use output file streaming, right? So a stream object can be connected to only one file at a time. So when one stream object is open, one thing you have to remember that whenever you are trying to use the same stream object to open another file with another file name, you have to close that stream object which was open for the previous file name. Okay, but you don't need to open the stream object again. That means you don't need to write this statement again and again. We will check it out. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say, suppose uh, suppose we are opening a we are creating a file stream object like this. Suppose OF stream, suppose file object. Okay, we have created a file stream object and OF stream. I hope that all of you have clear this conception of OF stream, because in last class I did discuss about the details of the OF stream, IF stream. Both are part of the F stream base class. Okay, which is actually included in your source code by using the F stream header file. Okay, and this F stream base class is inherited from the grandparent class of IOS, input output stream, of IOS, input output stream, right? So OF stream file object. So this file object can be created. This file object can be used to call the open method in this way. Suppose I am going to create first file. Suppose file name 1. Okay, this is the first file. File name which I have provided and opened with the help of open method, and this is the stream object, file stream object, which actually apply on the open method. Okay, now if I want to use the same stream object, that means this file object, to call the open method, to invoke the open method for the another file name or for the another file, different file. Suppose that file name is file name 2. Obviously, these two files are different. This is different file. This is different file. But I am using the same stream object to open both these files. Okay, so that is only applicable for open method whenever you have used open method. And if you see that in the previous class where we dealt with opening the file with the help of constructor object or constructor method, there we cannot use the same stream object for multiple opening. Okay, but one thing you have to remember, before opening this one, we have to close the previous file object dot close method. This statement you have to apply. Okay, but you don't need to write this statement again for creating the file object. That thing you need to understand. You don't need to write this statement again to create the file. So this statement is acting like a universal statement in your source code. Okay, universal statement means you have defined this statement only once, and now you are free to use this file streaming object throughout the program at any number of times. But whenever you have opened a particular file, then that object will be closed after the file opening operations. Then you are able to open another file with the help of same stream object and the open method. That is the thing that I need to tell you regarding this open method. So if we want a process where we can open a set of files sequentially, then it will be better to use open method with creating a single stream object. Okay, so let's check out one program. I hope that the overall conception is clear to you. Now, if you want to clear the full conception, now check out this program. So this is a program working with multiple files and creating files with open function. Okay, let's check out the program very carefully. So just like the previous program, we have incorporated here two header files, one for the input output streaming, another file for the file streaming. Okay, so whatever OF stream, IF stream, whatever streaming classes we are used that are part of this F stream base class. And one thing all of you must remember, this fstream base class is a part is a part of the, or is inherited from the grandparent class iOS. Okay, iOS. So this is the main method. Now within the main method, try to understand what I am trying to do here. So within the main method, I have first created an object, a file stream object, f out. Everyone try to listen very carefully. Within this main method, I have created a f out object, okay, file streaming object that is used for the output file streaming. OF stream means output file streaming. That means whenever we want to create a file to write, we will use this OF stream. In last class, I discussed it. Whenever we want to create a file to write something, to write content, some contents within the file, we will use OF stream. Whenever we want to open an existing file to read the contents, then we will use IF stream. Okay, so that thing you have to make yourself very clear. So OF stream is output file streaming that has a streaming object f out. Clear? Now we will use the open method, system defined method, applied on this file streaming object f out. Which file we have created? We have created a file country. We have created a file country. Okay. So first we will check whether in this drive we have any file with the name of country. I am searching with C. So there is no file with the name of country. Okay, I am showing in front of you, right? So by the help of open method, it will actually create this file into the same drive or into the same folder where the source code is saved. So in which folder source code is saved? In this folder. Okay, the source code is saved. So in this folder, the file with the name of country will be opened with the help of this open method and the file output streaming object, right? That we will see. Now when it will open, after opening we have to do some kind of writing operation. That means we want to write some contents within the file. How we can write the content? This logic is very much similar with the previous program that we have already learned. That means by the help of that object, then the extraction operator, we will write some content. Okay, like I have written down the name of the three countries here: USA, UK, and India. And these three countries' name will be written down into the same file country. Okay, and then we are closing down the object. We are closing down the object, right? So f out object is closed down. Now let's check out the next statement. So I am using the same object and the open method to create another file for writing whose name is capital. To create another file for writing whose name is capital. Okay, whose name is capital. So do you understand what I am trying to say? What I have already told in the theory of this open function, the same thing I am doing here. So I am creating the file streaming object only one time, and that is the universal statement of creating the file streaming object, right? So by the help of this object, and the open method, we are going to create a file whose name is country. Within the file, we have written the name of three countries: USA, UK, India, separated by new line. Okay. Then after completion of the writing of this country name, then I have closed down the open file streaming object f out with the help of close method. Now in the next line, just after this close method, I have used the same object name, same streaming object name f out and the open method to create another file with the name capital. So in this file, we are trying to provide the information of capital of all these countries which we have already written into the country file. Clear? Is it clear to everyone? Up to this, anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
What about the others? Is it clear to everyone? So here I am using
Yes,
only
sir.
one creating statement. Try to understand how it is different from that previous program that we have learned in the previous class using constructor, how we can open a file. So in that statement, we have to write this statement multiple times. If you remember, or you can check the code which we have done in the last class, that multiple times we have to create the file streaming object by using OFStream class. Okay, if we want to access multiple files, if you want to access if you are going to access only single files, then there is no need to create multiple streaming objects, because if you are going to access only a single file, the one creation of the one streaming object will be enough, right? But here in this program I am going to create multiple files. First file with the name country, second file with the name capital. But here I am not repeating this statement, creation of the output streaming object statement multiple times. Instead of that, if I have used the open method, that is the advantage of using open method, which I have already told. This statement is actually written as the function open can be used to open multiple files that use the same stream object. This is the punchline, that use the same stream object. So here, which one is the stream object? This one, fout. So open method is using the same stream object for opening multiple files. Okay. So now within this capital file, within this capital file, we have written down the capitals of all these three countries. So Washington is the capital of USA, London is the capital of UK, and New Delhi is the capital of India, right? Now, after written down the capital file, after filling the contents inside the capital file, we will call the close method on this object that is opened for the capital file. So this close method on this object is actually applied for that fout object that is related with the country file, and this close method is applied on the fout object that is related to the capital file. So they are not related to each other. Okay, they are separate. Okay, streamings are separate. Now in the next line, by the help of if stream, we are trying to read the content. Again, use open function and read the content of the country and the capital file one after another. Okay. So how we can do that? Very simple. By the help of if stream, obviously for reading we have to take the help of the if streaming class. I think all of you know that, because this thing I already discussed in the previous class. If stream means input file stream. This is also a system defined class under the header file of fstream. Okay, the fstream is the base class, and it is the grandparent class of fstream is iOS. Okay, input output stream. Now this if stream I have created one object, input streaming object, that is fin, fin, file input for if stream. Now by the help of this fin object, we have opened the country file. Now one thing you have to remember, the country file we have already created in the previous case, and we have already written the name of the three countries within this country file. So when we will run this code, first the creation of the country file will occur, then the creation of the capital file will occur, then the reading of the country file will happen. Okay, so after opening the country file for the read operation, then we will write the printing statement like contents of country file. Okay, then we will run the while loop. Okay, while fin means what does it mean by while fin? Actually, this while fin we generally use to detect the end of file condition. Okay, it is this fin is actually a if stream object, which we have already seen. That fin is actually if stream object, that is input file stream object, and it returns a value 0 if any error occurs in the file operation, including the end of file conditions. Okay, suppose the file is not opening correctly, then it will return 0. Okay, if the file, any kind of failure of opening the file operation occurs, then it will return 0. And thus this while loop terminates when fin returns a value of 0 on reaching the end of file conditions. Okay, so end of file condition I didn't use here. In the next program I will show you how we can use the end of file along with this while fin operations. Okay, so So this will read until we will reach the end of file. That is the main conception that I need to tell you here, that this while loop will repeat until we will reach the end of file of this country file, right? Now within this while loop we have used a getLine method. I hope that all of you have idea about the getLine method. I have already discussed about the getLine method in my previous managing input output console class, and getLine method is mainly used to read a line of text or an entire line of strings, okay, and we have to pass two arguments. One is the line which you want to read and the size n. So that line and size we have already declared as a character array and a constant integer respectively, okay. The size of the array, actually this n means represent the size of the array. So then we actually print whatever line the getLine method has been read, that actually print after the next statement, okay. So after this enter operation of reading the contents, then we will close the fin object. Okay, we will close the fin object. Now we will do the similar kind of operation for the capital files. There is one more file. You don't forget this. There is a capital file which actually holding the capitals of this country names. Okay, capitals of this country names. So this is a capital file. So within this capital file contains the same operations we actually applying. Okay, I don't need to repeat the same operation. I hope that you have understood. So by the help of this fin object, we have again, look here, we are not using the same statement again. Okay, if stream fin, because this is also universal while we are reading the file. So after closing the fin object related to the country file, we are again applying the open method on the similar fin object for capital files to open. Okay, and then the rest of the statement is very much similar with the statement of the previous one. Okay, so this is the entire program. Now let's check it out. So first I want to show you that there is no file with the name of country here. Okay, and obviously there is no file with the name of capital here. So capital, country, these two files are not present in my current directory right now. Okay, so after running this code, whether it will create or not, that we will check, and what value it will contain, that we will also check. So country file will contain three values: USA, UK, and India, and the capital files will contain three values: Washington, London, and New Delhi. Okay, so let's check it out. We check out the output letters. First, we'll check whether the capital country file has been created. Look, capital file has been created successfully here. Country file is created successfully here. So before running that program, these two files were absent in this directory. So right now they are both created successfully and present in the directory. Okay. So if you want to check the content of this file, whether the file contains the same value or not, let's first check the content of country file. Understood by everyone? I hope that everyone has understood it. So within the country file, we have seen the content of these three countries name, which I have already provided in our source code. Okay, in our source code, right? Now we will check the capital file. So drag and drop here. So capital file will contain the corresponding three capitals of those three countries, which we have already mentioned in our source code. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. You have to clear these concepts. Okay. So in the same program, the program are very much similar. Okay, that you can also do the same program by using constructor method. But the advantage and disadvantage of open and constructor method, which I have already told you, in case of open method, you don't need to write the creation of the output streaming object multiple times. Okay, if you use open method, but in constructor method, you have to, after closing that object, you have to create the object again under the OF stream. So that is the advantage, only advantage an open method must have in this program. And the output is very much similar. It actually read the contents of the country file, all the three contents we have read properly, and then it will read the contents of the capital file. All the capitals has been read properly. New line is not given here, so you can add new line here. So contents are reading very clearly in this program. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If anyone has any question, any doubt, you can ask me. Any kind of question, any kind of doubt, you can ask me. The reading operation is similar to you. If you remember in the C programming, how we have read a file up to a end of file EOF. Have you remembered it? We have read individual character of a file which we have opened for the reading until we will reach the EOF character. EOF is a special character, special marker which will represent the end of file. Okay, here the same thing is happening. We don't need to. You can write EOF. Okay, it is also acceptable if you write EOF here. That I will show in the in upcoming programs. I will show how we can write EOF along with this FIN object within the while loop. Okay, how we can write it, that I will show. But here we don't need to write, but by default it will consider the end of file here, and it will perform the read operation by using the getLine function until it will reach the end of file. Okay, so this is the first thing that I need to discuss today. And the second thing that I need to discuss today, not related with this opening and closing right now, that in future classes I will discuss some more methods regarding this opening closing. Today I would like to discuss little bit different. Uh, it's related with the file handling, obviously related with the file handling, but it is also related with the command line arguments. Okay, so I hope that all of you have some basic idea regarding command line arguments. Okay, because in C programming we have extensively did multiple programs on command line arguments. Okay, this is very important from campusing point of view. Okay, because I told you, if you remember during the C programming classes, that some companies are coming, and if they are giving you if in the technical round, they actually giving you the programs. If you are going to perform the program in C, Java, or C++, so they can ask you to put the inputs in command line instead of runtime input or compile time inputs. Okay, that is very very important that you need to understand. So this is the program. This C++ command line argument is very much similar with the command argument in C programming. So that's why I think all of you are familiar with these two terms, argc and argv, pointer argv. So can anyone tell me what is argc and argv?
Argc is argument constant and argv is argument
No,
vector.
no, argument constant.
Argument counter.
Counter, sorry.
Counter,
Oh,
not constant. Actually,
okay.
counter will return constant value. That's why I was a little bit confused about these two terms, because argument counter is always return some counts, right? Like 3, 7, 5, 6. Okay, but it should not be constant. It should be any kind of integer value. Okay, so that will count how many number of arguments you are passing. And this one is argument vector,
Vector.
a, a,
Vector.
character pointer type argument vector, which will points to the first uh, value of this vector. It means argv of 0. Okay, the first value of this vector. Can anyone tell me which will be the first value of this vector argv of 0? What it will
Name
represent?
of the
Yes.
file. Name of the file.
Very good,
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
Good.
Very good. You have remembered it. So name of the file is the first argument. I discuss all these things during my C classes. Okay. Because the same concept is applying here. Okay. Not even here. In Java programming, also applying the same concept during the command line arguments. But argc argv concept is not there in Java programming. Means these statements are not using. Argc argv concepts are there. Argument counter is there. Argument string array is there. But this argc argv terms are not there. Okay, that we will see which terms are there, that we will get there. So argc is mainly used for the argument counter, how many arguments you are passing during the command line arguments, and argv is a character array which will pointer type, which will points to the first argument of this array. So one thing you have to make yourself very clear, argv0. So argv0 is the first argument of the argument vector. V represents vector. Okay. So argv0 is always representing your program name. What is your program name? So what is my program name here? Command line arg. This is the program name. Okay, .cpp. This is my program name. So argv of 0 is always representing, or you will have to pass this one as a program name, or most of the compilers are actually consider the argv of 0 as a program name by default. Okay, you don't need to pass it explicitly. Okay, now we are telling sir then which argument we are using, from which argument we are using in our program. So you are using starting from argv of 1. From this argument you are using up to argv of n minus 1, up to this argument. You have to use to give inputs, to supply inputs to this. Okay. So command line arguments is another way of giving inputs while you are executing your program. That also, or is giving another special way of inputs while you are executing your program or at the time of invoking the program. Okay. So this same feature is available in C programming as well as C++, that facilitates the supply of arguments to the main method function. So this command line arguments are supplied as a argument or as a parameter within the main method function. That is very new. Okay, within the main method. Till now we didn't supply any argument. Till now whatever program we have done, have I supplied any arguments within the main method parameters or arguments? No, we didn't touch our main method as a argument supplier. But here in command line argument, this command line argument must be supplied as the argument of the main methods. Okay, and it should contain only two arguments. The first argument returns an integer value, which will return the count, the number of arguments that you are passing or supplying, and the second argument will return that those arguments which you are passing. Okay, the argument itself which you are passing. So within this argument, the first argument will be your program name, and the rest of the argument will be your inputs. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check some simple program. Those who are new, those who couldn't remember these concepts of these command arguments, for them I am just writing down this program. This program is similar to C program. It is a C program, so you can convert this one into C++. Okay, the same output you will receive. Okay, so this is the argument counter. So if I want to printf, suppose I want to print the argument counter %d, argc. Okay, this is the argument counter, right? Look, so this is the thing that I have already told you, that this will return how many arguments you are passing, and this will return the type, the argument itself, okay, which you are passing. Now in this def C++, if you want to run your program as a command line argument, listen very carefully everyone. In def C++, if you want to run your argument as a command argument, you have to go to execute, because if you run this program directly from here, it will never run as a command line argument. Okay, command line arguments running is little bit different from a general program running. So you have to go to execute, go to parameters. Okay, everyone note it down. Go to execute, go to parameters. Now within parameters, here you will have to pass the argument that you have to give as an input at the time of invoking of the program or at the time of execution of the program. Suppose the argument I have given input, suppose hello. Okay, suppose only one argument I'm giving. So make it okay. After this making it okay, then press this compile and run button. Okay, so how many arguments you have seen here? You have seen here two arguments, argc equal to 2 and hello. Hello is the argument itself. Now some of you can be confused that you have passed only one argument as a string, that is hello. Why it is giving argc equal to 2? Can anyone tell me the answer?
The file name.
Because the name
Because
and
for one is for file name.
Yes. The first argument, that means the argument 1 is giving up, it is for file name. Command line argument, this file name, basic command line dot cpp. And this file name is by default. You cannot skip it or you cannot ignore it. Okay, if you want, sir, if I want to ignore that one, no, you cannot do it. Because until your compiler will reach to the file name, it will never invoke the command line argument inputs. Okay, so let's check it out. Some more inputs. Suppose parameter, suppose I have given more inputs. Suppose hello world. So after giving space, this is very important. This blank space is very important here, because blank space will distinguish this is argv1 and this is argv2. This is argv1 and this is argv2. That means two command line arguments you have given separately. Okay. So here I have printed only argv1. If I want to print argv2, then again %s, and here I have printing down argv2. Okay, argv2. So this is I am telling only for those guys who forgot this command line argument concepts. Okay, so argv2. So let's check it out. Look, right now the argument is 3, and what are those two arguments? Hello and world. And what was the first argument? That is the program name itself. Okay, that is by default. That automatically assumed by the compiler itself. Okay, but your actual argument on which you can apply your future work, that is hello and world. Okay, hello and world. Acha, I suggest any one of you upload those previous command line arguments programs what we have already performed in C programming. Okay, upload those programs. If you have those programs, I think all of you have that program. So any one of you upload those programs into our common WhatsApp group. Okay, I want that all the people, especially the lateral people, will get those programs and practice that program at their home. Okay, any one of you, please upload those programs. Not right now, just upload it by today in your WhatsApp group. Okay, whatever program we have done in our lab copy during the C programming labs. Okay. So the same concept, I hope this concept is clear to everyone. Is it clear to everyone? Is this concept clear to everyone? How we can handle command line arguments?
yes, sir.
So now we are going to apply the same concepts along with the file handling. What is the objective of this program? This program is very beautiful. Okay, the program which I have written in front of you, this is a very beautiful program. Okay, what is the objective of this program? The program objective is that, listen very carefully, I am taking two file names as an input. I am taking two file names as an input through this program. First file name is odd and the second file name is even. If I am not doing mistake, this odd even file name program we have already done during that command line arguments in our C programming labs. I hope that. I couldn't remember fully. So the first file name will be odd file name and the second file name will be even file name. So these two file name I have provided as a command line argument. So here, instead of providing the direct input values, we are providing the input, the file name as an input, as a command line inputs into our program. That means within this execute, within this parameter, I have passed the first file name odd, and then by giving space, passing the second file name even as a command line inputs. Clear? So within argv of 1, this odd file name will be stored, and within argv of 2, this even file name will be stored. Argv of 0 is dedicated for the program name by default. Okay. Now within this program, I have defined one array with 9 numbers. Okay, these are the numbers, and the objective of this program that we have to write these numbers of array into a file, and then apply the even odd logic. That means which number is even and which number is odd. What was that logic? If a number is modulo division by 2 equal to 0, then that number is called even number. Otherwise, that number is called odd number. I hope that all of you know the logic of even and odd. This is one of the simplest logic. Okay. And accordingly, you will have to choose or write those numbers which are odd into the odd files and write those numbers which are even into the even files. So in my directory, even files and odd files, these two files will be created separately. Even files and odd files, the two files will be created separately. So within the even files, only even numbers of this input array will be stored. That means 22, 44, 66, 88. And within the odd files, only the odd numbers of this input array will be stored. That means 11, 33, 55, 77, and 99. Is the objective of this program clear to everyone? Is the objective of this program clear to everyone or not?
Yes, sir.
So what we will do? We will first check. This is a checking purpose. You may write it, you may not write it, is your choice. So this is a checking purpose whether the total number of arguments is equivalent to 3 or not. If it is not 3, then you supply wrong arguments. Okay, or error in the arguments. That I have checked it out. So it's optional. This part is optional. Okay, it is a good programming habit to check whether the number of arguments is equivalent to 3 or not. Why 3? The first argument is the default program name. The second argument is the odd file name, and the third argument will be the even file name. Okay. Now, OF stream, I have created two objects, fout1 and fout2. I am using the open method, which I have already shown to you. So by the help of the open method and fout1 object, I have opened the file argv of 1. Understood? Which value was stored within the argv of 1? Which value was stored? What is the value of argv of 1? I have just recently changed it. Odd.
Yes, odd.
Okay. So argv of 1 storing odd value and argv of 2 storing even value. Right? And argv of 0 is by default this one. We are not concerning about the argv of 0. We are not worrying about the argv of 0. Okay. So by the above open method and fout1 object, we have opened the file whose name is odd. Okay, supplying this one as an argument, command line arguments, right? Now this is also optional. Suppose if the file will not open properly or not, okay, then it will execute this statement. Okay. Now again using fout2 object and open method, then open the even file, right? And this one is also optional, right? Now this is the main thing. I have written a for loop that runs from 0 to 9 for all the numbers and checking whether each and individual number of this number array is modulo divided by 2 or not. If it is modulo divided by 2 correctly, that means if it returns remainder 0, that means it will be written into which file? fout2. Why fout2? Because within fout2 which file has been stored? Even file. So here the even numbers has been written within the if loop, so that will be written into the even file, and odd numbers will be written at which part? Else part. So that will be written into the odd file, and fout1 object is dedicated to which file? Odd file. Argv of 1 means odd. Argv of 1 means odd, and argv of 2 means even. Everyone agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Argv of 2 is even, right? And argv of 1 is odd. So it is written, those numbers which are properly divided by modulo by 2, those are written into an even files, and those which are not properly divided by modulo by 2, those are written into a odd files. Okay. Then we are closing down those two objects which we have opened. Then again we have created a if stream for reading down the file contents. Okay. So here I have read down the file contents starting from 1 to argument C. Okay. So each and every argument we will open, argument basis we will open. Okay. So first it will open the argument and we will read the content of that particular file. Okay. And then we will read each and every character, each and every contents of the file one by one. Okay, and within do while loop we have complete the reading, and then we have closed down the file object that we have opened for the read operation, that is FIL. Okay, so this will first read which file? argv of 1, because it is started from 1. You cannot start it from 0. It is a wrong concept. Why? Because argv of 0 is a file name itself, source file name itself.
The file name.
So we should not supply source file name. It will give you error. Okay, so we will supply either argv of 1 or argv of 2 or so on. So here, when the for loop variable value is I equal to 1, it will open the even file and read it out. Sorry, open the odd file. argv of 1 is odd file, and read it out and print the contents one after another. And when I is incremented by 1, now the I value is 2, then it will open the even files and print the contents of the even files. Clear? So here I have, in the parameters, I have set odd and even 2 file names for argument 1 and argument 2 separately. Now we will run this code. Check out. The odd numbers are successfully stored into the odd files, and the even numbers are successfully stored into the even files. Now we will check whether the actual file storing the same values or not. Obviously, it has been read correctly. That means obviously it must have a similar kind of value. But we will check for our confirmation. Okay. So we will open the notepad. We will find out even file first. This is the even file. So make it copy and paste. So these are the even numbers within the even files. Clear? Now we will check the odd files. These are odd files. Drag and drop. So this is the set of odd numbers stored within the odd files. Clear? Is it clear to everyone?
Sir, the note that you have written, like we have to, like when an object is created, like first we have to close it, then secondly we have to open a new object. But
Yes.
in this code, like it open both the object, okay, and it's simulating both object at the same time. Not at the same time, but we can't close to earlier, like later we close to both of them.
Right. We can also do that. In the previous case, I have told that closing the individual object is optional. It's not a mandatory in this open method. When you
But
are using
like
simultaneously.
the earlier day, like you said, if we don't close it, it will make some error, like
Oh no. This is true for the constructor one. That was true for the
okay,
constructor one.
okay,
But for the open one, you can do it one after another. But sequentially, you can do it.
Okay, good.
But if I said earlier, then I tends to mean that one for the constructor one, true for the constructor one, not the open method.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay, so I hope that you have understood. So in the upcoming class, I will also discuss 1 or 2 programs regarding these command line arguments. If those who couldn't understand, okay, clearly right now. So I will definitely discuss 1 or 2 more programs regarding these command line arguments using file handling. But everyone must practice it at your home. Okay, that is mandatory.